Welcome to the Troll Patrol. Live. I'm Justin Freakin, the new media messiah, the Buddha of broadcasting, the minister of mischief, and the most controversial voice in all of America. It's been a long time since I've done that one. And I've lost my lighter. I'll use this big ass one here. It's a freaking Monday. Have to be careful not to burn my face off. Now, I was supposed to have a guest here tonight. I had everything set up for old Gord to join us. I've been saying he's going to back out. But he has assured me that not only will he be here on Wednesday night, but he is currently getting ready to do a video, and he is going to share out the ad that I made for our little debate. This is going to happen on Wednesday. Apparently, old Gord is a bit of a local celebrity in the East Tennessee region. And he's developed quite the reputation. Now, I talked to him over voice chat just a few minutes ago. You know, I had a friendly discussion. I don't think it's going to be so friendly come Wednesday night. He even made me use a picture of him with a fucking gun in his hand. I have had to jump through countless hoops to get this motherfucker on here. And when I say countless, I mean countless. And that's odd for somebody who this was the original message. This is how I found old Gord, the man who will be debating me on Wednesday night. He had commented on a section, and me being the troll that I am, saw his comment. I can imagine. I'm sure he thinks he's not racist. Now, I saw this comment, y'all fell at debating. Y'all really won't sit at the table and debate unedited a man like me. Anyone that can nail down the truth versus your many errors, whatever the fuck that means. I'll take on your smartest, so-called smartest group member. I'm game 24/7. You guys are reading it right here. This is what I saw. I know this because it was the very first message I sent him. I highlighted that part and said, "Oh, really now?" Well, I just happened to do a show where I open up the phones and I take calls from anybody. 917-830-4359. I dare people to call in and tell me I'm stupid. I will debate anybody. And don't forget, we are on the Discord. You just say the word, and I will pop in to the voice chat, and we'll debate on Discord. The show stream is going on over at Discord as well. You can see the link up there in the top. If you hit !Discord, it should give you a link. And you can get into our Discord server. Y'all fell at debating. We're going to see who's going to fail at debating come Wednesday night. Oh, Gord, I hope you show up. Please make my day. Please, or my evening. Because I have this theory. And my theory says that right-wingers are morons. And I'd like to prove it. So call in. Tell me I'm stupid. 917-830-4359. If you like the whole right wingers or morons thing, I got my shirt on. You can get one at the link down there at the bottom. Oh yeah, I threw another camera up there. What's up, fuckers? Get the overhead shot from Troll Central. We just keep making upgrades here at the freaking studio. We got a jam-packed show planned for you. I've got so many cool videos. An 11-year-old stole a school bus. I haven't even watched the video yet for that one. I've got another video that you're going to have to see to believe. I watched it a gazillion times and sent it to several of my friends. Plus, Trump has got a rally going on right now as we speak. Oh shit, something's going on. Let's find out.
Tomorrow, President Trump will be delivered.
Oh, it's over. I'm sorry. I thought somebody was fighting in the crowd or some shit. But you can see him there. They make everybody around the president wear a mask. This motherfucker right here took his mask off. Trump says, or the doctor from the White House says Trump has now tested negative consecutive days. So if that's to be believed, he tested negative yesterday and today. No mask, 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 no mask. Now they're supposed to wear them. They're specifically instructed by the campaign to wear them if they're going to be behind the president. It's like they don't even fucking care. Now, as I was coming on the air, I saw this story. Trump threatens to kiss supporters now that he's immune to COVID. He stated he is immune to COVID. What a dumb motherfucker. Right-wingers are morons. I get a lot of use out of that because it's fucking true. And boy, does it trigger them. Holy shit. So that's why you should buy one of my shirts, because it fucking triggers the shit out of right-wingers. You know, the people that call everybody else snowflake. Also, we've got... Well, shit, I had it. We were on... I was on a Kentucky website because we have the Mitch McConnell, Amy McGrath debate going on. Oh, has it already ended?
That's the short answer. Nobody should be voting on a Supreme Court nominee right now. Look, 4 years ago, Senator McConnell said, by the McConnell rule, during an election year, we don't vote.
We'll watch a little bit of this here.
Decide. Well, right now, with 22 days to an election, we should let the people decide.
And with 22 days to the election, she stands fucking
on aid for Kentucky, as we just talked about.
next to zero of a chance of unseating Mitch McConnell.
What this is all about. Senator McConnell, for a decade, tried to undermine and get rid of the Affordable Care Act legislatively. He could not do it. So now he is trying to do it in the courts. The first case that the Supreme Court's going to hear after the election is going to be about the Affordable Care Act. And that is something that we really cannot have in Kentucky, because the Affordable Care Act did a lot of good for many, many Kentuckians.
This is very true.
So I don't want to throw it away. I want to fix it.
Time's up. Senator McConnell.
Yeah, no one believes that the Supreme Court is going to strike down the Affordable Care Act.
That's exactly what the Trump administration is arguing in court right now.
Subject away from this extraordinary nominee.
It's almost certainly going to go to the Supreme Court, and that's why they're trying to ram through Amy Coney Barrett.
A judge on the Seventh Circuit, a marvelous family, 7 children, 2 of them adopted, 1 of them with special needs. an
A
absolute
religious nut job.
all-star. And so in the Judiciary Committee you saw today, they want to talk about anything other than the nominee. This is the progressive position. My opponent said she's the most progressive person in Kentucky. What does that mean? It means they want to stack the Supreme Court. In other words, add numbers so they can get an outcome that they like. She wants to make the District of Columbia a state, Puerto Rico a state, get rid of the filibuster in the Senate. In short, there's not a dime's worth of difference between my opponent and all of the national Democrats that you've watched. If you give them...
I don't know. I don't know too many national Democrats that are running as Trump-loving Democrats.
Well, I want to do what's right for Kentucky, always. That's what I'm all about. You know, and after 36 years in Washington, this is what you get. A man who basically, his word means nothing. Integrity means nothing. Does one thing 4 years ago, then...
That's not just Mitch McConnell. That's the entire GOP, 100%.
You know, it's what everybody hates about Washington. Folks, we cannot change Washington until we change the people we send there, period.
And Charles Booker would have been a great
Have you seen those
candidate to take on McConnell.
about the swamp? Washington is the swamp. Well, she wants to give the swamp a place where they're full of influence peddlers and lobbyists, 2 senators, just like Kentucky. That's one of the things she's in favor of. That's why she's one of the most, if not the most progressive person.
To give senators to the District of Columbia,
Change the rules in the Senate to give them an advantage. Admit the district,
which has a bigger population than several states.
for them, and then pack the Supreme Court so they'll get the outcomes they want that they can't pass.
You want to talk about packing the courts? Mitch McConnell has packed the courts for years.
You know, Senator McConnell is
You should be flabbergasted by that, Amy.
And, you know, but that's par for the course.
Would you favor enlarging the court?
You know, I think we should be working on unpacking the Senate right now because he has polarized and made this partisan mess of the Supreme Court so bad that people were even saying they were going to vote for or against the nominee before they even had the name. And in my mind, that's just not what we should be looking at. I'm focused on Kentucky.
Yeah,
She makes a really good point.
Answer the question. And Joe Biden won't answer the question either. What Biden said is, I'll tell you after the election whether or not he's going to pass the Supreme Court. Well, we're entitled to know.
Do not let them fool you. They're not answering that question because they don't want to turn people like me off because they're not going to pack the court.
Said in an interview last year,
There is no way the Democrats have the balls to actually come in and pack the court.
It's been
At least not a Biden administration.
69.
Except for the 1 year that you left 8 all year long. But here's the thing. Ruth Bader Ginsburg
Good job.
also said that she didn't think that her seat should be filled until the next president. And it does come down.
Not really her place to
When
say
Ruth Bader
that.
Ginsburg was initially nominated and confirmed. She was confirmed 96-3 at the time. Think about that. You know, Mitch McConnell wasn't the Senate Majority Leader then, so we actually had regular order. Since he's become the leader, he has made this a partisan, complete weapon of a mess that we have with the Supreme Court. We got to get rid of him.
Senator, you
Every
said
one
this
of
is
the
an
big
important
Supreme
topic.
Court controversies was started by her party. Bork, Thomas, Kavanaugh. Look what they did to Kavanaugh a year ago. Tried to destroy his reputation. Look, under the Constitution, the president can nominate for a vacancy on the Supreme Court anytime he so chooses. And this president has
All right.
for a vacancy during an election year, just like a lot of other presidents have over the years.
All right,
19 times. 17 of the times they've been confirmed when you had the party of the president also in control of the Senate.
I'm not going to leave this general topic, but this question is this. If Judge Barrett is confirmed, there is some belief that Roe versus Wade, the law that gives women the right
Ooh, here we go.
could be overturned. And a Western Kentucky University student wants to know your thoughts on that and where do you stand on women's reproductive health issues? And we begin with Senator McConnell.
Well, I'm pro-life myself and enjoy the support of Right to Life and the Susan B. Anthony list and others who've worked on this issue over the years. But that's a different issue than what's before the Supreme Court. Every president has been surprised by how Supreme Court nominees that they've put up have voted. No one knows what may happen.
That is the truth.
Any nominee. Every Republican
John Roberts has had a couple of very surprising
disaster for women, and none of them have turned out that way.
Rulings.
So we don't know how the court.
Gorsuch has had a couple really surprising rulings so
This
far.
nominee, just like Ruth Bader Ginsburg, will not answer any question about a case that might come before her. So we will not know. That's one of the reasons judges have a lifetime appointment. They're independent once they get on the court. If they're strict constructionists, they follow the Constitution and the law.
Time's up. Lieutenant Colonel McGrath.
Well, I'm Catholic, and I'm the mother of 3 small children. And
She was winning me over there for a little bit, and then she's like, oh, I'm Catholic. Well, fuck you.
I'm somebody that believes that the government should not be legislating my religion or my religious belief on others. And I do believe we already have reasonable restrictions on abortion in this country, as per outlined in Roe v. Wade. That said, you know, as probably, well, I am.
The guy with the name Death
up
Priest
here on this stage
says what's
today,
wrong with
and
Catholics.
I'd like to point
Hail
out
Satan, Death
about
Priest.
life issues. You have to talk about the fact that before the Affordable Care Act in Kentucky, there was not a single insurer on the individual market that would cover maternity care. And Senator McConnell has had a terrible record of trying to get rid of the Affordable Care Act all along. 50% of children born in Kentucky and rural Kentucky are born on Medicaid. And Senator McConnell wants to cut that. Those are life programs. And, you know, as a mother, I always want to protect children and protect, you know, health care for people.
Senator,
Unless she's bombing them in the Middle East
She really
as a
wanted
bomber
to
pilot.
It was a single payer system. That means the government is in charge of your health care. And then she waffled a little bit and said a public option. There's really not a dime's worth of difference. If you put all of our health care in the hands of the government, think about it this way.
He really is the most Kentucky senator ever.
Motor vehicle.
There's not even a dime's worth of difference. I look like Colonel Sanders. Let me give you some fried chicken.
That's what we're talking about here. You don't want the federal government to be entirely in charge of looking for testing, vaccines, treatment, and the long lines that will come as a result of the government taking
I do not want private industry in charge of those things by any stretch of the imagination.
and put all of our health care in the hands of the government.
time, Senator Lieutenant Colonel McGrath.
Well, I'm not sure what the senator's talking about when he talks about they. I can tell you where I stand, and that I ran the primary and defeated my opponents that were for the Medicare for All system. But clearly, we need to fix health care in this country.
Yeah, you outspin him like 7-1
Kentuckians that still don't have health care in the middle of a pandemic.
and still barely fucking beat him.
30 years ago, ran an ad that said that he was going to fix health care. Now he's saying he just needs another 6 years to do it? Seriously? That's like my 8-year-old son saying, hey, Mom, you know, I really am going to take out the trash, but I just need another 6 years.
All right,
He's not interested in fixing health care.
Early voting starts in the Commonwealth.
Now, that is Bill Bryant, actually, and don't let his looks fool you. He's a lot older than what you think.
Across the country, there are questions over mail-in voting and the potential for fraud. Are you concerned about the integrity of this election? Lieutenant Colonel McGrath.
You know, I think that we have, here in Kentucky, we have a Democratic governor who came together with a Republican Secretary of State, and they came up with a very good plan for everybody to vote. And it's wonderful. They actually came together and negotiated. Isn't that amazing? I wish we could do that at the federal level.
So what did the Republican AG do?
Kentucky has never made it easier to vote than this year, and that's incredible.
Oh, the AG didn't get involved.
I am very concerned about the U.S. Postal Service. The Postal Service is such an important service. It provides prescription medication to our seniors, to our veterans, particularly in rural areas, and it needs to be helped through this coronavirus. And I'm afraid Senator McConnell hasn't done enough.
That is correct.
For that, and I would be.
And there's a lot of right-wingers out there that call themselves constitutionalists.
Hand out
Hey,
$100 billion in slush funds for corporations.
the fucking Postal Service is mandated in the Constitution. I don't see you fucking defending it.
Senator McConnell, your response.
Yeah, my opponent always likes to mention how long I've been in the Senate. She doesn't seem to be troubled by the fact that Joe Biden's been in Washington 47 years. under her
I'm troubled by it.
terms, Joe Biden would have been leaving the Senate at the time I got there. So
And I said it many times. I was against Joe Biden.
her advocacy for a position on term limits that would have eliminated Joe Biden's career before I even got to the Senate.
Not a damn thing wrong with that.
Who can be effective for Kentucky? There are 4 congressional leaders.
And when he says that, remember, he is the most disliked senator in America. His constituency doesn't like him.
My last term, $17.5 billion for the Commonwealth that would not have been there had I not been the majority leader of the Senate.
I would love to see Mitch McConnell get beat. And I've spotlighted several senators in close races that I've said, like, I've donated to, and I encourage you to donate to. I do not encourage you to donate to this race.
Above its weight. Here in Kentucky, we feel like we've been sucker punched. We have
She's down like 12, 13 points.
highest rates of heart disease. Some of the
And she is flooded with cash. The MSNBC crew loves her.
It's just unbelievable. And if Senator McConnell would love to talk about term limits, I would love to talk about it, because you know what?
But she doesn't speak to the heart of Kentucky. Charles Booker,
And I agree with him on
the man she defeated in the primary, just barely, because she outspent him 7-1.
Let's just take opioids, for example.
He spoke to the workers in Kentucky.
That I directly brought into Kentucky for the opioid fight. $87 million of that was the largest grant the University of Kentucky has ever gotten. All of that was the outgrowth of 2 bipartisan bills passed, one of them back during the last 2 years of President Obama that I negotiated with him, called the 21st.
So I'd absolutely love to get rid of Mitch McConnell, but it is not going to happen. I'm not going to encourage you to put money into that race. Maybe just the fact that it is so overwhelmingly Democrat that it is a blue tsunami that's getting ready to happen, that could possibly push McGrath over the edge. And she would have to have a lot of turnout among young people. He wants to die in office, clearly. Dude's like 70-something years old, right? "78 years old. Why couldn't it have already happened?" Now, I'll tell you somebody who has been trying to die in office, and that's fucking Republican Senator Mike Lee. And this was this morning at the Amy Coney Barrett hearings, where he is still positive for coronavirus. Unless he as well, like the president, has had some kind of miracle cure. He should still be positive for coronavirus, and here he is at the hearings for the Supreme Court Justice nominee.
At a particular meeting on the day of their enactment or their incorporation into the...
Without a mask, sitting, that doesn't look like 6 feet, but I'm sure he's sitting next to another Republican. I would hope the other Democrats are virtual or sitting on the other side of the room. If you told me that a Trump kiss could cure me of coronavirus, even if I was in a hospital bed on a respirator with a fucking bedpan under my ass, I would not let Trump kiss me. Absolutely not. Let's just make that perfectly clear, okay? I'll even say it to the other side. I would not let Trump kiss me.
Constitution, and that's your job. And yet, if you were watching today's hearing, and some of the statements made by some of my colleagues, in fact, if you were to look at any of the countless posters put up in here, you'd think that this was a political discussion, a policy discussion, a legislative discussion. You, in fact, are not being reviewed for a legislative position or a policy-making position. You're being reviewed for a position on our nation's highest court, where you'll be asked from time to time.
Coronavirus. All over the place. I'm just spraying it all over the dais.
This is not something that should result, or properly should be considered by us, as something that requires us to examine whether, to what extent, in what way, you have compassion for any of the individuals depicted in these photos. I'm certain, just based on my limited interaction with you, that you have compassion for all people. But this isn't the question, nor is the question before us whether you would agree or disagree as to any particular policy embedded with.
What he has drolled on for at least a minute. I'm pretty sure my timestamp started at 2:45, and he has said absolutely nothing. Or maybe he has, and I was just focused on the fact that he's spitting all over the dais with his fucking infected ass. And I feel sorry for all the workers that are there in the Capitol building that have to put up with this nonsense from these dumbass Republicans.
Within any particular statute. You understand that this isn't your job. Not as a judge on the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Seventh Circuit, where you now sit, nor would it be if you were to be confirmed as an associate justice to the United States Supreme Court. One might also have the impression, from watching this morning's proceedings so far, that the Supreme Court of the United States is a remarkably bitter, cynical, and overwhelmingly partisan place. It is not.
Doesn't he isn't he using adjectives that you would use to describe him in this hearing? Bitter and partisan. Cynical.
You and I have both clerked at the U.S. Supreme Court, and we both know that you actually look at the numbers, you'll see something remarkable. Despite its flaws, and despite the fact that it sometimes makes mistakes, the Supreme Court of the United States sits atop something that is the envy of the entire world. A judicial system that, despite the fact that it's run by human beings and therefore is imperfect.
This is just flowery language that means absolutely nothing. This motherfucker just yep about goddamn. He used 11 minutes was his opening statement. He drug his coronavirus infected ass out of bed and drove to the Capitol building so that he could try to say some shit for a campaign ad. That's exactly what that was. He wanted sound bites. You can tell by the way he phrased his shit. He was attempting to say something that would get played on the news, and he was attempting to say something that he could use in one of his ads. These motherfuckers are shameless. And Mike Lee is not the only motherfucker back to work. Trump's campaign manager returned to the office 10 days after a positive COVID-19 test. 10 fucking days. Now apparently, I don't trust. I had a friend who tested negative for coronavirus twice, but had all the symptoms. I did not let her come near me. She wanted to come over. I've had 2 negative tests. No. 14 days after you were exposed. That's when I'll let you come over. 2 negative tests, 14 days. I'm super cautious. Keep your infected asses away from me. And once again, we're talking about workers that are probably making $12, $13, $14 an hour emptying the trash in the White House are exposed to these fucking idiots. Through no fault of their own, they've got to be there. Bill Stepien. This is my first time hearing his name because this is the fourth fucking campaign manager Trump's had for the 2020 campaign, I think. We've got two former campaign managers that at least went to jail. Two. One's currently in jail. I think another one's receiving treatment because he's accused of embezzling money from the Trump campaign. This is all just a fucking mess. But I'm sure that the campaign manager needs to come back to work because he's got a fucking shit ton of fires to put out. That's not the right fucking story. There's White House doctor. This was supposed to be Fauci. I wanted the campaign ad with Fauci. Hold on, let's find it. So Trump put out a campaign ad. And he used a clip of Dr. Fauci. And I've got Fauci responding to it here in just a second, but I wanted to show the actual ad. Oh, we've got an ad before we can watch the ad. Okay, here we go.
President Trump is recovering from the coronavirus, and so is America. Together, we rose to meet the challenge, protecting our seniors, getting them life-saving drugs in record time, sparing no expense. President Trump tackled the virus head-on, as leaders should.
I can't imagine that anybody could be doing more.
Now, clearly, Fauci wasn't talking about Trump. You guys know that already, right?
Devoting almost full-time on this, almost full-time. I'm down at the White House virtually every day with the task force. I'm connected by phone throughout the day and into the night. When I say night, I'm talking 12, 1, 2 in the morning. I'm not the only one. There's a whole group of us that are doing that. It's every single day. So I can't imagine that under any circumstances that anybody could be doing more.
President Trump tackled the virus head-on, as leaders should.
I can't imagine that anybody could be doing more.
See, he even puts the fucking edit. Like, that's a bad editor to fucking do it that way. Anybody should be skeptical when they see that. But, you know, right-wingers are fucking morons, so it's not like they care about being factual. But Fauci is upset about it. We've got a little clip of him describing what was wrong with the video. But I'm totally convinced that they intend to do shit like that. They edited that on purpose because they want to create a controversy around the video. Then the video gets played more. Then there's news stories about the video. Because they don't give a shit that they got caught lying. They don't give a shit that they caught with deceptive editing. It's all about getting played on shows like mine, getting played on the news. What the fuck, another ad? Because then they get their ad scene again. It's a fucking Nazi tactic. And marketing has been doing this a lot lately. The whole Kylie Jenner Pepsi thing, or whatever Jenner it was, I don't fucking know. Like, that was planned. They had an apology in the can ready to go. because they thought it was good press to create a controversy that will then get everybody talking about them, and then to apologize for it. So then they look good when they do the apology. It's insidious. I can't stand marketing. And that's absolutely what the Trump campaign is doing with that kind of an ad. Republicans do it all over the country. There was one where they enlarged John Ossoff's nose in Georgia because he's a Jewish man. They did it just because they wanted the news to bring up the notion that he's a Jewish man, first of all. And then to get the play in the media over the controversy. It's like an outrage cycle.
You know, I think so, Jake. I think it's really unfortunate and really disappointing that they did that. It's so clear that I'm not a political person, and I have never either directly or indirectly endorsed a political candidate. And to take a completely out of context statement and put it in, which is obviously a political campaign ad, I thought was really very disappointing.
I love how the headline made it seem like tensions escalate over campaign ad, and he's just the most calm, cool. But hey, that's media hype. I fall into it too. I'm clipping the show. I'm giving it headlines. It's like, oh, this headline will get more clicks and more views. But hey, this ad is a good thing if you are the Trump campaign because it's distracting from the bigger stories. Like how tax records show 200 entities funneled money to Trump properties. The New York Times has just had a series of stories exposing Trump's tax returns. So creating faux controversies about Dr. Fauci to get the heat off of him for, oh, all this money has been funneled in, violating the emoluments clause in the Constitution. That's another thing I hear right-wingers tell me they're constitutionalists and they support Trump. I don't see how that's possible. Maybe we'll get the chance to ask one of them. Hey, maybe somebody should call in right now. 917-830-4359. Give me a call. Tell me I'm stupid. Argue with me. Let's talk about politics, religion, whatever's on your mind. I'm down. 200 different entities. So basically just bribes. At least 200 separate bribes. Probably series of bribes. But there's not a single right-winger talking about that shit today. No. Do you know what I saw them all sharing out? No, it's not. It's not the protest.
So scared of losing that she's now attacking Republican Navy veterans.
It's not the right-wing militia guy that got shot. I've got several right-wing friends. The day after the Kyle Rittenhouse incident, we're like, yeah, that's self-defense. As you will see later on in the show, a guy got shot at a rally. It is clear that the guy that got shot was attacking the other guy. We've got pictures that show he was punching him. We know he was trying to spray him with bear mace. There are videos of him acting a fool earlier in the day. But I didn't see a single one of these gun-supporting, gun-nut fucking right-wing morons talking about like how they rooted this motherfucker on because he acted in self-defense, even though it's cut and dry. No, I've had them argue with me the opposite. And when I point out their inconsistencies, they're like, no, you don't understand how self-defense laws work. Give me a break, motherfucker. No, the shit that I've seen the right wing sharing out today has been making fun of the Biden campaign. They all shared out this video. Now, they cut off this first part. They started right over in this area.
Because they want to keep the crowds to a minimum. They realize we are in a pandemic.
Yeah. They cut all that shit out. They started over.
Campaign and the pool reporters. So you would expect to see, I mean, this is a pretty big event for the two of them to be campaigning together for the first time since the Democratic National Convention here in Arizona. We've established, our state has established itself as a battleground state. And so this is technically a big event, but not a lot of fanfare. So
they shared out just that little clip. Like, oh, Biden's not getting a lot of support. But they didn't share out the beginning of it, where we see that it's a closed session. There are people there. This is where they're kicking off their bus tour. I have the video of the event. You can tell, like, it's supposed to be a little closed event for safety. It appears it's some kind of a hangar, and these people are outside. And Kamala and Biden are inside. But even the reporter says, like, they wanted to keep it small because there's still a pandemic going on. But these fucking idiots shared this out as if it was some evidence that there's not any, like, Biden support going on, when, like, the opposite is true. Since the debate happened, Biden's polling has gone up and up. His favorables have gone up. Everybody saw Trump try to bully him on stage. It's like, nah, we really, I call it Trump fatigue. I'm convinced that most of the country really wants him gone just because we don't want to have to deal with that bullshit anymore. We don't want to have to put up with these dumbass fucking right-wingers. I'll go fucking vote for Biden, but come January, it's time to organize and make sure that there is a primary challenger in 2024 that's well funded and that has a grassroots network. And if we're putting that together from the moment Biden and Harris take office, that's the one thing that will push them to the left. Knowing that there will be a viable challenger in 2024.
Let's go ahead and take her live.
But she even spells it out for them.
Daytona and Andrew. Hi, it's kind of warm out here actually, but we're right outside of the Herd Museum where Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and their motorcade arrived at about 1 o'clock this afternoon. They are meeting with several tribal leaders here at the Herd Museum, and not a lot of fanfare out here. There's really not much to see. I'll step out of the way, but it's kind of boring out here.
Well, yeah, because there's a pandemic going on.
Presidential campaign event. We don't see people rallying outside. We don't see signs or really much of what's going on. And I'm told by one of the Biden staffers, local staffers, is that they kind of kept the details about the visit as far as the timing and the exact locations. They didn't really want to give that out to the public because they want to keep the crowds to a minimum. They realize we are in a pandemic and they don't want a crowd of more than 50 people at any of their events. So,
oh, listen to that. Fucking idiots. Almost like it was supposed to be that way. Here's the event. I think this was on Thursday.
You are. I'm telling you. You have
Friday.
My whole career, and I hope you know I've had yours as well. You know, there's an old expression, when I was growing up in
Oh God, Biden's coughing. Shit, no.
Well, the Carpenters brought me to the dance. And
Or
going
yes,
home together.
yes, am I
We're
for
gonna have
that?
to sit at the table. Folks, you know, people who shape the skyline, who build the foundations, everything.
Do we want them to both die? Would that be what's best for the country?
The dance, and the only reason I'm able to run for president.
Because you know we are still on.
Guys of and I've never forgotten everything you've done for me.
He ain't fooling me. I think he's still sick.
I really mean it. You know, I get in trouble for saying this, but it's true. You're the backbone of America. You're the spine of America. You're the ones who actually built the country, not Wall Street bankers and CEOs.
But the Wall Street bankers and the CEOs are the ones that he's going to let run his administration after he gets elected. Only you can prevent bankers running politicians. One of the things I'm a little worried about is when I march down to the polls to vote for Joe Biden, even though I don't fucking want to, am I going to have to take on one of these armed fucking militia groups who are just becoming more and more fucking prevalent out there? Now, I told the story that I went out in the county one time. There's a good Mexican restaurant out in the county. I don't leave the city very often. And in my city, I don't leave my little area of the city very often. But me and Sparkles went out into the county one time. And I saw a real honest to God fucking Nazi. An iron cross and the fucking eagle on the back of his neck and everything. I'm like, God damn, they're everywhere. Dude delivered my groceries the other day. I had my fuck Nazi shirt on. I have a wide array of really funny shirts. In case you guys don't know, I'm currently wearing my Right Wingers Are Morons shirt. You can get at the freaking shop at the link below. But I was wearing my fuck Nazis shirt, and the dude that brought my groceries to my door said, "Oh my God, yeah, fuck Nazis." He told me that he was God, the words escaping me now. Like so he was like the real descendant of the Vikings. And the Nazis always try to steal their fucking symbology and shit. And he's like, fuck Nazis. Like, yes, fuck Nazis indeed. Armed groups are saying that they will show up to polling sites on election day. I'm sincerely hoping I'm not going to have to fucking fight off Nazis at the polls. Openly carrying a firearm at a polling station could be interpreted as voter intimidation, which is illegal in the U.S. I would goddamn hope. If push came to shove, his members would draw their weapons. What the fuck? Why are you out advertising that shit? I'll be voting in person, and so will everybody else I know. And I think the radical left knows that. This motherfucker doesn't realize he's the one that's radical. I'm not the radical one here. I'm like as far left as you're going to get in America. Do I look fucking radical to you? Don't answer that. Like I got the crazy bandana on tonight. The radical he's the one that's radical. People don't realize how far to the right this country has gone. People have lost their goddamn minds. That was one of the last things my grandmother told me before she died. I love you, but I wish you wouldn't be so radical. What the fuck does that even mean? But speaking of armed militia members, we've got a video here, but it's not exact. You can't exactly see the shooting, but we're gonna get to see we've got pictures of the shooting. This is insane. We'll see the side shot here. The shooting is going to happen over here to the right of where the video is going on.
Show me that. Show me, motherfucker. Show me that, nigga. Don't fucking touch me.
God damn, dude. Woo.
Next person to fucking touch me, right? Makes me. Fucking makes me, bud.
Look. Is he even is this guy a BLM protester? Because he's got a shirt on that says "Black Guns Matter." Like, he seems like he's one of the like, because this is a patriot rally.
To me and fucking makes me, nigga. Makes me, motherfucker. Makes me, motherfucker. I got the makes.
Now this is the guy right here, and he is on video in other places before this.
Fucking makes me. Go ahead and fucking makes me. Go fucking ahead and makes me, nigga. Fuck around and find out. Don't touch me, old man.
Fuck around and find out.
Don't fucking touch me, man.
Now, if we were watching a movie, what he just did there was called foreshadowing. Fuck around and find out.
Don't fucking touch me. Fuck around and find out. Fuck around and find out. What about it? Fucking tough guy. You got a nice lip of you so fucking tough. Fuck around.
Alright, let's watch again. Let's watch again.
Don't fucking touch me, old man.
He walks off there. He's got his fucking bear mace or some shit in his hand.
Fuck around and find out. What about it? Fucking tough guy. You got a nice lip of you so fucking tough. Fuck around.
I shouldn't laugh at that, but like,
Show me that. Show me, motherfucker. Don't touch me, old man.
like the dude, don't touch me, old man. Like he's fucking itching to get in somebody's face.
Fuck around and find out. What about it? Fucking tough guy. You got a nice lip of you so fucking tough. Fuck around.
Now you're going to see beyond a shadow of a doubt here. We'll see the pictures of it. Here's the guy that this was the victim. This is where he hits. That's the guy that shot him. He slaps him across the face. This was him earlier in the day. I don't think there's sound on this because it was on a GoPro. There were people on the thread that were questioning its authenticity because he took the sound off of it, but no, a GoPro isn't going to have sound on it. It's just a camera. He's probably got an audio source from somewhere else. He might not have had it on or something. That's that same dude bullying fucking people. See, where's the mace picture? Is this a different angle?
Show me that. Show me, motherfucker. Fuck around.
Oh. I don't want to do it though. Oh, I might get a copyright. Somebody put the Curb Your Enthusiasm music under it. There's the punch. Where's the second picture? There's the spray. Here's them taking him into custody. Where's the... Why can I not get that one picture? It's bound to be here. Okay, there he is hitting him. There's an ad. So yeah, like, I saw some right-winger say that, like, oh, he was backing her away. You can't shoot him if he was backing away, but he was backing away and spraying fucking bear mace after he hit the guy. So he was a private security guard on contract by 9 News. He's in custody, but he shouldn't be because that was 100% self-defense. But of course, right-wingers aren't going to say that, even though supposedly that's what they believe in, being able to defend yourself with a firearm under the Second Amendment. They're not going to say that because they like the politics of this guy. So they look at the situation, they don't see the facts. They don't look at it under the law. They look at who they want to be correct in the situation, and then they work on their conclusion backwards from there. And then they want to tell you that facts don't care about your feelings. All right, we've gone a little long, so let's go ahead and let's get to our fun stories, shall we? Maybe, I don't know. This may not be fun. I'm calling it fun because 11-year-old boy leading police on a pursuit sounds fun to me. This might be really dark, and I'm sorry for calling it fun. So this is the first time I'm watching this video. We're seeing it together.
Police chase came to a crashing end this morning in Central. Authorities are still trying to figure out how the driver was able to accomplish all this. NBC Local 33.
The driver being an 11-year-old boy.
This homeowner was shocked, to say the least, when she looked out her window to see a school bus crashed on her front lawn.
It was just unbelievable to see something like that.
But the story doesn't end there. Smith hunkered down in her home and watched while police surrounded the vehicle to arrest the tiny driver.
You just don't think of a 10-year-old boy driving a bus.
The child led police on a 45-minute chase through Baton Rouge. Drivers watched as he flew through downtown Government Street.
Wait, whoa. How was he good enough at driving to not crash before 45 minutes? Holy shit. Yeah, I want to laugh at this story and be like, go little dude, but his life ain't very fun right now, I'm sure.
And all the way to Smith's front yard in Central with more than 20 officers following him.
Holy shit.
He wasn't driving fast when he was in town, but he probably couldn't reach the gas pedal. Go all through town and to come down Grimmer Springs Road and wind up in our...
Honestly, how did he get to the gas pedal? Well, it's a school bus, so I'm assuming he was standing, right? He would have been standing up on the wheel, and then maybe would he even be tall enough then?
Front yard, it's just unbelievable.
The 11-year-old
flawless
allegedly told police he did it just to do it. BRPD says the bus was stolen from Progress Head Start School. It's still unclear.
He did it just to do it. I just felt like fucking around, guys. Like, we're coming up, like, this is the 2020 election. It's a shit show. We're gonna get hit by a meteor. We got fucking, our last story tonight is a star getting eaten by a black hole. Just fucking crazy shit's going on. So hey, dude, more power to you. Steal the fucking bus, kiddo.
Clear how the child got the keys.
You know, he didn't have good control of the bus. He could have just kept on going. If it wasn't for the tree, he could have possibly run into my neighbor's house or even run.
Thankfully nobody was hurt, especially the little dude. I'm glad the little dude didn't get hurt. I'm glad the cops didn't just shoot the fuck out of him before he got off the bus. He could have been hurt in that situation more ways than one.
Smith says the commotion was startling, but she's fortunate that no one was hurt. In Central, Abby Rocha, NBC Local 33 News.
Things are really uncertain.
Yeah, that was wild. All right, this I don't know when this happened. The kid hijacking the bus. The kid hijacking the bus, that happened like today or something. It looks like this was posted in August, but I don't know exactly when it happened. And it's just like, it's been my favorite video on the internet. And I would like to share it with you guys. So the cop shot him with a taser. He's down from the taser.
Oh my God!
Beat the fuck out of him. One more time, one more time. Now in wrestling, they call that playing possum.
God! Oh my God! Oh my God! What are we? Oh my God! Shit! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!
And you can see how effective that maneuver can be. It lulls your opponent into a false sense of security and allows you to lure them in order to get the upper hand. Watch it one more time. He tries to knock the taser out of his hand. Smacks him on the head several times and goes, makes a run for it. I watched that at least 30 times. So NBC, I didn't see the whole story. They had ordered a show called Spitting Image. I guess they were going to air it on the Peacock network or whatever their streaming service is called. So we're going to take a look at the trailer for Spitting Image, which I might have to arrange my VPN to be able to check it out over on the BBC. I wonder why the show. Well, it says they fear that it could upset Trump. You know, because right-wingers are constantly talking about how the left is nothing but a bunch of snowflakes and cancel culture and yada, 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 yada. Fucking, and it's an ad for Walmart. Fuck Walmart, first of all. If you love America, you will never spend a dime inside a Walmart. Looks like the old Genesis videos. Like, are you talking about like the Peter Gabriel video for Sledgehammer?
When creatures of the night command vast, mindless armies, a hero rises from slumber to once again do battle.
Wait, what did you say the show is called?
The name, or nomen to the Romans,
Shouldn't shop at Walmart.
Spitting Image.
Splitting scrimmage? Spitting image. Cribbage.
Oh, it's a sketch show with puppet caricatures of real people. It can be rather nasty.
Puppets? That is the very most moronic thing I've ever heard. My puppet is going to be the best puppet, and I love it.
Spitting Image.
God, he looks like a penis.
On the global elite with sophisticated satire.
Do they all look like penises?
Declare myself ruler of Earth. Germany, you get a sneaker. Russia, we're a sneaker.
A show with sharp insights about technology.
Because he's a motherfucking gay fish.
But I got all your money.
I don't know that I've seen the video for Land of Confusion. I'm sorry. I've never seen the video for Land of Confusion. I've seen the video for Sledgehammer, though. I know what you're talking about. Peter Gabriel was in Genesis. All right. Hopefully I saved the best for last. We have video of a star getting eaten by a black hole, causing a disruption event visible in telescopes around the world. I've not watched this. I've been saving it for the show, so let's check it out. Fuck you and your ads. A disruption event. I can't even tell you what a disruption event looks like. Now, I assume this is one of those where they've photographed it in a different type of light that we can't see and then colorized it in a way we can see. I assume. Oh, wow. $215 million light years away. Spaghettiification. Now, come on. We're talking about fucking particle physicists and rocket scientists, and the name that they came up with was spaghettiification. Seriously? This is music. Oh, it was shredded into thin strips. I didn't know what spaghettiification would mean. I'm glad you defined that term I'd never heard before, that I couldn't possibly discern what its meaning was by its name. I don't remember that from the Soundgarden song. Was there anything about spaghettiification in the song? That's cool. Let's watch it again. But now, okay. Is this the light from the star as it's like going in and it's expelling the light out? And then that's the explosion from it? Oh, wait, was that the star trying to get away and getting sucked in? Like it's fighting for its life here. Trying not to get sucked down the drain. And it's like it's going into the shredder now. Oh, that's so fucking cool. Damn. Well, that's a neat way to end the show tonight. As always, go ahead, light one up. Like this fucking black hole did. Tip one back. It's alright to have a little fun before you hit the sack. I'm Justin Freakin. We'll see you tomorrow night on the Droll Patrol.